Welcome back, everybody, to the joinDOTA League. We have the Division 1 to 2 playoffs, the last match for the upper bracket of the Southeast Asian scene. It is going to be 1-2-3 facing up against First Departure, Miracle's team. He's fighting for a chance to be able to get into the MLG Pro League for season number 3, which, of course, the LAN itself is going to be in New Orleans for the MLG World Championship, an event that none of these teams want to miss. So, fighting in the upper bracket, of course, these teams do have the lower bracket that they can still fall back on, but obviously you don't want to take that risk, especially in the Southeast Asian scene, as I think Blitz wanted to put it, it's Southeast Asia. Anything can happen. Or maybe it was Jo. I think Jo actually was the one who said it. So, anything can happen, essentially. It's a little bit dangerous to assume that if you do drop in the loser's bracket, you'll be able to pick up the easy win. So, 1, 2, 3, starting off with a Bloodseeker Dazzle duo and Earthshaker Darkseer for First Departure. I like the combination of Earthshaker and Darkseer. Darkseer, though, picking up very, very early. We'll have to see if it actually proves to be as valuable as apparently they feel it is. First Departure, just a little bit of feedback on what's going on with First Departure. They've been playing in some various Southeast Asia tournaments. Right now, you've got the MSI Dragon Battle. You've got that the Midsummer League going on in China as well, where First Departure has had the opportunity to play against some of the Chinese teams. They've been doing all right for themselves. They've had some kind of tough games against the Chinese. They beat Newbie Youth, which is something. Lost to Tong Fu, which isn't terribly surprising, and Energy Pacemaker, who's actually pretty damn good as well. But other than that, they've even been losing to some of their Southeast Asian teams. Mineski has been kind of steamrolling through them twice in a row, once in the Dragon Battle and the other time in the Midsummer League. So they've been kind of, I would say, a little bit of a slump. Then again, they have been facing up against the tougher teams in the league. Meanwhile, 1, 2, 3, they've been in the similar tournaments. They've also, in the Midsummer League, they have actually beat Tong Fu Wanzhou? Tong Fu WZ. I don't know how to say it. Sorry, guys. They beat them, but lost to Dream Gaming, which has demons on their team. Other than that, they beat TNC twice in a row, and also managed to take out Signature Trust, who I really felt like is one of the better teams out there right now in this whole Division 1 to 2 playoffs. So I'm feeling kind of confident about 1, 2, 3, but we'll see. Their draft is certainly quite interesting. Bloodseeker, Dazzle, Tusk, all kind of normal for this current meta, but now with Tinker. I haven't seen too much Tinker, and 1, 2, 3 may have a just very bursty lineup if this goes the way I think it is. Blood Rage being put on the Tinker as he TPs in to the Tusk roaming around ganking. He just blows up a hero with laser and rockets. Could be really good. There are some good jumping heroes, though. First Departure. Earthshaker was already there. Darkseer, he's alright. He usually tends to get Blink eventually. But now we have the Zeus and the Vengeful Spirit. Zeus to stop the Blink Dagger of the Tinker when he completes his TP, as well as the Vengeful Spirit, who has, of course, that swap, which is a pretty decent way to catch out the Tinker. First Departure still need to pick up their carry. Gyrocopter, for me, would be an obvious one. Then again, this is Southeast Asia. Not as much Gyrocopter being run here. Phantom Lancer is still in the pool. First Departure could pick that one up. Would work relatively well versus the Tinker. He gets Diffusal. He's pretty tough to deal with when it comes to single target damage, because you don't know which one is the real one. I think that would actually be an excellent pickup and probably the best ban that 1, 2, 3 has available. Sure enough, they take it out. Clinks is still being run in the Southeast Asian scene. That would be a good way for First Departure to run a lot of pushing power. Meanwhile, 1, 2, 3, what do they need to pick up? They've already got the very defensive Dazzle grab. they need something to be able to deal with the initiation and early damage of First Departure, whether that's...
Reserve time.
I think a hero that actually would run with the Tusk would be nice. Actually, First Departure believe this is going to be a Tusk support, and we still need to see an offlaner picked up. I guess in that regard, offlaners that are left... Phoenix isn't bad here. You actually don't have many good right-clicking heroes. All of them are short on range or on melee. I feel like Phoenix is perhaps a little bit too greedy. I really like the ban out. If it is indeed an offlaner that's still left, First Departure taking away the clockwork, probably one of the most aggressive playmaking offlaners in the game. I like that pickup quite a bit, but never mind. 1, 2, 3 are actually going to go for an aggressive tri-lane, it seems. Silencer, Dazzle, Tusk, or perhaps aggressive dual lanes. Tusk, Silencer at the bottom lane, Dazzle, Bloodseeker at top, and Tinker being run as our solo mid. First Departure still have their carry to be picked up. If you're running against a dual lane, not so sure you want to get too greedy.
5 seconds remaining.
So the Clinks might be out of the question. What's another really aggressive early game hero? A Viper or a Razor? Razor would probably be a little bit more potential simply because he doesn't drop off as heavily going into the late game. But I'm not quite feeling it versus the Tinker. Then again, Razor would do fairly well against the Bloodseeker. Is fine usually against the Silencer. Dazzle and Tusk are both really annoying as support, so maybe not. Go back to the physical damage of Clinks, but he has the same issues against Dazzle and Tusk. Doesn't really offer a whole lot against the Tinker either. Phantom Lancer really was the best hero pickup I could think of. Whoa! Terrorblade! What the hell? I was just about to suggest a Spectre. But it does against Silencer. Terrorblade for Miracle. Alright, you can't get the Naga Silent. Let's go for the other split push Maniac. I mean, this does give them a lot of pushing power, but very squishy heroes on the side of First Departure. Not much sustain at all on this team. Darkseer picking up an early mech. Guardian Greaves could be enough to give them uphill pushing sustain, but I am pessimistic. Then again, 1, 2, 3 did pick up a very, I don't know exactly. They don't work to get together very well as a team, I would say. This lineup of theirs.
Prepare for battle.
I was kind of weirded out by this Arcana of Terrorblades. Like, why did they replace his face with light? It just seems weird. Whatever. It is what it is. We are actually going to see an early fight here from 1, 2, 3. Starting things out with a Tusk Snowball. They're certainly going to find something, but is it going to be a kill? Snowball in on a Miracle. That guy, 435 HP. Do you think he's going to live? The answer's no. Not even close. Miracle is giving away first blood, and 1, 2, 3 are actually in a position to maybe even get both bounty runes. We'll see what happens with our Bloodseeker. He's going to be contesting a Darkseer. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's not the play. Meanwhile, 1, 2, 3 actually still searching for more here. Another Snowball's ready to go, but no. Yamate. Oh my god. Could you ask for a better start? He's got 753 gold as the horn blows. So that means a bottle instantly picked up by him and will be waddled on out by the courier. Our little wyvern hatchling. So, Tinker versus Zeus. With a bottle already picked up by Yamate, I have to say I feel like the Tinker's going to win this matchup. Pretty heavily. Then again, the Zeus doesn't rely on right-clicking, so the laser isn't that much of a bother, but it's the burst damage of the Tinker that's kind of scary when he already has an advantage. If it was even, I would say the Zeus would win this matchup, but fortunately for First Departure, it's not. They are running an aggro trine lane. It's the Tusk, Silencer, and Dazzle. Kang is going to be playing our core position Tusk. And they've got a support Dazzle, or support Silencer, rather. Yamate already trying to take advantage of the bottle. Oh, Tusk, actually, they get a snowball out. Managed to get a kill on one, and a secondary kill as well, as Lubby will end up going down. Already an extra 4 intelligence to our Silencer. Pretty bad start for the side of First Departure. At least Earthshaker didn't lose his mana. He's probably the most dependent and has the least mana pool of all these heroes, but there goes his clarity. And Fisher, well, if he blows it here, he won't have any saving mechanism for quite some time. Oh my god! What an Ice Shards! That was insane! I have no idea how that managed to work out, but they managed to get another pick off on Miracle. That Ice Shard somehow sucked the Terrorblade, who was like running around here, into this tree area. I have no idea if Kang actually knew that was going to happen, but that was insane. I'm going to say no, but then again, it was a really off-the-mark Ice Shards if he didn't know that was going to happen, so yeah, that weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. Double damage for Zeus. Not that it matters against a Tinker most of the time. His laser will kind of stymie any of your attempts to get right clicks out. Fisher gets laid in. Yamate doesn't have anywhere to go. Throws out the March of the Machines. And will actually turn on to Pelosin. He could almost get the kill there if he managed to get a couple more right clicks. That would be a death, but unfortunately, not happening here. Meanwhile, you have the Darkseer facing up against the Bloodseeker, a matchup that's quite interesting to watch because the Bloodseeker is so dependent on getting those right clicks, those last hits on the creeps. If he fails, even 1 or 2, he could easily be pushed out by this Ion Shell spam, so he's got to be careful. But normally the Bloodseeker does alright versus the Darkseer, and that's kind of all you need, is a hero that does alright against him. Not anticipating to see a kill in that lane until level 6. Yamate's dropping quite low. Pelosin's actually going to come in for the kill here and gets a beautiful Fisher block that Chivix will take advantage of. Double lightning ensures the kill. Meanwhile, top lane, Darkseer goes down as well. Just as I say, don't expect to kill until level 6. Looks like Darkseer just played a little bit too harassment onto the Bloodseeker, and I guess easily just run down by him. Combination of, I guess, a couple of heroes being low at the bottom lane makes it impossible for First Departure to keep that one hero in lane atop. Chibix has already got Arcane Boots. He'll probably fill up his full bottle before purchasing that. And have a pretty nice upgrade ready to go. Terrorblade, who is currently 5-1. Just doesn't seem to be Miracle's pickup. They were kind of left in a bad situation through and through in their draft, but just not convinced that Terrorblade was really the answer. Trying to farm up to this camp. Meanwhile, the rest of his team's actually going to head up to top lane where the Bloodseeker's at, see if they can't get a quick kill on him. With double Ion Shell, they certainly can. We'll see if just one Ion Shell is going to be enough. Fisher, no. Bloodseeker's way ahead. Even if the Earthshaker did get laying down that Fisher, I'm not even sure they would have been able to catch up to him. Oh, Chibix. He's got his ultimate ready to go, but Yamate isn't quite low enough. Perhaps just misjudging his mana a little bit. Top lane, Bloodseeker forcing back some of these heroes. Anyway, maybe he misjudged his combination or something. Pelosin is going to find, or Silencer, or rather, Silencer is going to find Pelosin. Slowed down now. Doesn't look like we're going to see a kill. Maybe if the rocket went off, or maybe it still will. They do not have vision of him, so unfortunately not able to get that one. Chibis gets the quick kill there onto one, and here comes a very fast Bloodseeker. As long as he doesn't get stunned up too often, he should be able to get a couple of kills here. Last couple of right clicks, well, he'll get one. And now Pelosin, he's going to run him down as well, knowing he's got no mana with which to operate. Lovey, who's trying to go for Yamate, just needs one more hit or even a missile, but he's not getting in range. He's got another wave of terror, which could actually kill Yamate in a second here. Silencer comes forward in order to try and stop that one. Magic Missile gets laid out, another set of missiles, and Ben here to make sure that, again, he can clean up the rest of these enemies. And once again, Rupture not even being needed whatsoever. He's already got a hand of minus. And another 500 gold on top of that. 4-0-1 with 35 kills. I'm sorry, but I just don't see how First Departure could even contest this game. Miracle's level 4 compared to the farming Bloodseeker who is level 8. That doesn't say enough about this game. I don't know what does. Middle lane looks like Ice Shard's caught out Chivix. They're going to go for heal play, but it's not enough by itself. Even with the Walrus Punch, that wouldn't be enough. Chivix is now going to try and run down the Tusk. They still have a Shallow Grave. If used at the right time, will actually save him. Or maybe Chivix is actually going to die here as the missile is enough with the Walrus Punch to be able to get that kill. And now Kang will be able to bottle up through to make sure there's no death impending. Every step of the way, First Departure are just being outfought. Even in situations where they don't have a numbers advantage, or do have a numbers advantage, rather. Flosin's already quite low. They got to be careful with this one. Rupture laid out. They're going to go for the quick kill onto the Darkseer, and the supports could be in trouble if Ben actually picks up the kill. Looks like his Blood Rage faded at the wrong time, and he will go down to the Zeus. 1, 2, 3, unable to get the turnaround, though, on the Silencers, so missing out there. Our Tinker has Boots of Travel. So this is the beginning of a very probably fruitful relationship between the Tinker and the Bloodseeker. Chibix, one last lightning bolt, but he's not there in time. Not sure why he's passing. Oh, he's gonna farm up the stack. That's why. So wondering why he was passing off his bottle if he was going to go back to base for the Boots of Travel, but... Okay. Now another bottle trade-off? Or why not? So a couple of free bottles there for Yamate. And he goes right back up to full HP, and this is the combination we're talking about. Maybe not with Lasers Rockets, but with March of the Machine only level 2, Blood Rage will allow Yamate to clear through these stacks pretty damn quickly. It's a nice combination and a very well-played draft from 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, a 4-man Smoke. Terrorblade actually joining him despite the fact that he's not even level 6. Of course, he's still a powerful hero. Metamorphosis is ready to go. And it looks like, I'm not sure if he's actually holding on to a level or not. But, no, he's not. Yeah, they want to go for a pickoff here. He doesn't actually have Reflection. Now, Bloodseeker. Wow, barely running through that gank. Now they spot him out, but the Fisher isn't going to be enough to catch him. And now, that is going to be... damage on a Miracle. What a separation from the Ice Shard. Snowball on through. They get one. Now going for a second. Walrus Punch will make sure Lubby doesn't get out. And Pelosin taken out by Rockets. Even Tootie drops low from the missiles that come in from the Tinker. And again, it just seems like our Bloodseeker's always going to be sitting at a high amount of damage and movement speed thanks to maxed out Thirst, because the Tinker should always be bringing heroes low with rockets.
Radiant structures are fortified.
10 minutes in, top 3 CS quite easily. Tusk, though he is ahead of the Zeus in CS, is a little bit behind in net worth. But of course, this does make up, or doesn't quite make up for the difference between the Bloodseeker and the Zeus. A 2k lead for our Bloodseeker. And about a 500 lead for our Tinker as well. And of course, Tinker will massively outfarm the Zeus as time goes on.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like SNY is the build for our Bloodseeker. I doubt a fast BKB is necessary when you're this far ahead, but we'll see. Perhaps an early Sange to go into the later Silver Edge. Sange, then the Shadow Blade. Worry about the Silver Edge later. Pelosin. Well, he managed to block himself in, but it doesn't quite matter. These range nukes coming out from the rest of 1, 2, 3 easily get that one kill now. Miracle is hiding himself in the trees, almost being spotted out by the shards. Oh, Ben actually sees Miracle, and now he's just going to run him down. Even if Miracle did have his ultimate, it wouldn't matter. They throw out the silence just to make sure the Miracle doesn't have the opportunity to swap out that HP bar. Little do they know, he didn't even have it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Zeus' ultimate goes off, actually revealing a couple of heroes. They do get the silencer, but Chibix will be trading away his life, it looks like, to the Tusk. Slowed down by the Sigil. And another Icicle Shards. They got him. Ice Shards, sorry. Trying to fix that. Ice Shards. Ice Shards. So silencer for Zeus. Yep, I'll take that trade any day of the week. Bomb 1, 2, 3. The Bloodseeker is going for a BKB first, so maybe it just feels like his thirst damage is going to be enough. Movement speed and damage. Miracle. Maybe going to be spotted out here once again. No ultimate, so they could just battle it out with this bad boy. He managed to get a nice little juke there. Rupture laid in, and Ben doesn't actually want to pursue because he's afraid of the Sunder. Yamate is going to be the one who cleans up this kill soon. Missile 1, and now just trying to force him to move a little bit. Miracle runs out of the Rupture, though. He's good for the time being, but a second set of rockets will finish off Miracle. The rest of the team, well, maybe just Bloodseeker. They can take that bottom tier 1 tower. The Tinker coming back in. Looks like Tusk is already rotating. And Silencer, well, he's going to spend some time farming away. He's already got a Hand of Midas. And this top lane is totally free for him to take. Not sure quite what his build is going to be here. If he's going Tranquil Boots, or is this Riga regen going into a Force Staff? Am I going Necronomicon on the Silencer? That could actually be an option. Because he is so farmed already, he knows he's going to get a Necronomicon, and this will just allow them to push uphill a lot easier. And this is where the big threat begins. Blink Dagger now up on the Tinker, and he can have Blood Rage from the Bloodseeker at almost any time. Tusk also an initiating force with a Blink Dagger of his own. They're going to go all in, though, for a dive onto this Tinker. Silencer's the first target. Yamate already in a spot to be able to defend. Sounds gets laid out, and Yamate, he can actually go ahead and throw out more March of the Machines and actually try and convince the enemy team to fight. In fact, here comes a Bloodseeker. Light of low HP. He goes Darkseer's 1. Lubby's going to be 2. Or maybe Ben. 1, 2, 3. Nope, not quite enough. Chibix, though, he doesn't actually get to TP out.
Tower is under attack.
And Pelosin, I'm sure he was spotted up earlier, but he can't get that kill. Miracle chasing after Kang. Pelosin is coming in on the side here. Kang, you don't want to be trying that one too early. Miracle, Walrus punch up in the air, but gives up his life to Pelosin. In the end, Yamate may end up trying to chase him down. Pelosin does not have a TP, actually, for quite some time, just due to mana. He's only sitting at 50 mana even with the magic stick, so he's going to have to hang out here for a little while. Of course, 1, 2, 3 really don't care about him too much. They've got way too much control of this map, as is. They don't need to chase after a pesky little Earthshaker. Instead, they could just sit back and farm away.
What surge is this?
Uh-oh, Lubby. Ruptured up again. I like how Ben waits for the silence to get laid down. Miracle. It's going to be the second hero caught here. Snowball and Walrus Punch are both ready to go. So Walrus Punch first. Trying to bait out a little bit. Now, they should know Thunder was already used, but they don't want to try and force it anyway. So instead, just a little bit of defense. 1, 2, 3. Start backing themselves up. Of course, the Tinker can come in at any point in time. Yamate now it's going to be blinking forward with some rockets. And Ben will start getting that added movement speed. Couple of heal up in the bottle, and they are back to normal. But there's always more where that came from. Alright, so Silencer did complete the treads with that Belt of Strength and is now going to be going the Force Staff with the Ring of Regen. You know what the funny thing is here? Miracle's sitting in that situation. If Yamate actually blinked forward aggressively and went for the laser's rocket, he'd probably kill Miracle before the Sunder could go off. But no need to take risks like that. Smoke up here from the Earthshaker and the Zeus. Not sure if it was intended to catch the Zeus or not, but I believe 1, 2, 3 actually spotted that one out. Whoa, Echo Slam gets laid out. Yamate is in trouble. Pelosin found his pickoff he needed. The Global Silence is a bit too late. And our Tusk, well, he's going to go for the blink play. And nope, he's actually hit by the static field out from the Zeus. Still managed to get a kill on one thanks to Ben, who comes in with his Blood Right play. And he's got the Ul Scepter on top of it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pops the BKB, battling up against the Zeus. The Ul Scepter will save you so far, Chibix. Tries to go for the kill on the Dazzle, but nothing doing. 1, 2, 3. Now look for a tier 2 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Zap!
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Earthshaker. Fisher gets laid out. Nice vacuum, but it's still not enough. The Blood Right catches a couple of them. Darkseer's the first to fall. And Ben just doesn't show any signs of stopping here, as he's got constant rockets following his back. Tier 2 tower will end up going down.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
First Departure just keep on going into the same situation where they're inevitably going to be picked off by the Tinker or something. Blood right play. Zeus has a self-fuel scepter to be able to dodge that one, but they're actually so far, maybe. No, Ben, run! Oh, God. Bottle up, and it looks like that's going to be enough. Strength treads? Oh, my God, 3 HP. He didn't go to strength treads. Holy cow, friend.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
An Aghanims build for our silencer, looks like. So, eventually we will see that level in Curse of the Silent. Well, levels being put into Curse of the Silent. Blossom battling out with Ben, blinks away, but of course, Rupture makes sure that he is done for, kind of no matter what. Beyond godlike for the Bloodseeker. It's 21 minutes in. Take a look at that net worth. 15,000 gold lead. 14,000 experience lead as well. Things not looking great for First Departure. Miracle has no items to speak of. 0, 9, and 1. It's not like his performance on the Terrorblade is bad, it's just... it's a Terrorblade. And they got shut down really badly very early on to this game. Poor Roshan.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We had a pick off on, looks like the top lane. Terrorblade ends up going down to the Tinker. Pelosin may be picked off as well if he's not careful. He's going to run in, straight go for the Tinker. He uses his full combination, but now Global Silence to intercept, and Yamate will get some revenge. Dual Scepter on one to stop the TP out, and a missile to finish him up. How dare you try and go for Yamate? 1, 2, 3 says we've got our whole arsenal of teammates ready to defend him. And GG is called 22.5 minutes in. Miracle is done with this game. He immediately calls GG and disconnects outright. You can't help but feeling like First Departure a bit frustrated with the way this first game went. Such a trouncing, and pretty much 90% of it all came down to the draft. So, better draft for First Departure, and we may have a more competitive game for our second round. But guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more joinDOTA League action for you to watch at any point. Woo!